Trump's got this habit of putting his personal lawyers in very prominent positions of power. First, he subjected us all to the likes of Rudy Giuliani.
You know, you're really beautiful.
Oh, you dirty boy, you. Oh, Donald, I thought you were a gentleman.
His latest personal lawyer, Alina Habba, is now the U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, despite her only reluctantly accepting the job. Like many of Trump's cabinet, she spends half of her time on Fox News and the other half making up conspiracies on Twitter. And Alina just found out what happens when you start playing in the big leagues. She got smacked down so hard that the New York Mayor Baraka was caught on a hot mic saying, "Jesus, he tore these people a new asshole. Good grief." Now's the time where I ask you guys to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's keep that number going up like the number of Trump's wives. So it all started last week when ICE and DHS detained Newark Mayor Baraka and accosted two congresswomen who were there to serve city inspection papers and perform an audit on the facility. U.S. Attorney Alina Habba took to Twitter saying, "My office is undergoing a thorough investigation in coordination with our federal agency partners into what transpired at Delaney Hall. I do not take these matters lightly." But that bravado didn't last long, as she must have realized that her case against Mayor Baraka was weaker than Trump's shins, because she quickly changed her tune and quietly announced that she was dropping the charges against the mayor at the same time as announcing new charges for Representative LaMonica McIver for allegedly body slamming somebody, which was proven to be a lie. And at the dismissal, the federal judge came down hard on Habba. Federal Magistrate Judge Andre Espinoza reprimanded the federal prosecutors for more than 5 minutes, calling the retraction of the charges embarrassing. Embarrassing for Alina Habba and embarrassing for us as a nation. The hasty arrest of Newark Mayor Baraka followed swiftly by the dismissal of these trespassing charges a mere 13 days later suggests a worrying misstep by your office, Espinoza said. An arrest, particularly of a public figure, is not a preliminary investigative tool. It is a severe action, carrying significant reputational and personal consequences, and it should only be undertaken after a thorough, dispassionate evaluation of credible evidence. The judge directed his comments to Assistant U.S. Attorney Stephen Domanovic. The judge said Domanovic had acted appropriately throughout the case, but as a representative of the U.S. Attorney's office, he was responsible for hearing the message. Federal Magistrate Judge Andre Espinoza said he found out about the dismissal through reports in the media rather than from prosecutors themselves. Wow. The judge said that while there will be no trial, he believed Baraka deserved the chance to defend himself against the accusations. If this matter had proceeded to trial, we feel confident that Mayor Baraka would be vindicated, said Rahul Agarwal, one of Baraka's attorneys. We have believed from the outset that these charges do not and would not survive scrutiny. Yeah, I think he definitely would have been vindicated, as this is the evidence of his trespassing. He was clearly just let in. Look at them. They just opened the gate, let him right through. Hey, wait, that's trespassing. Now we're going to arrest you? Insane. Judge Espinoza delivered remarks for several minutes before ending the hearing, reminding the prosecutors of their responsibility to justice and saying, "Your office must operate with a higher standard than that. Federal prosecutors serve a single paramount client, justice itself," Espinoza said. "Your role is not to secure convictions at all cost, nor to satisfy public clamor, nor to advance political agendas. Your allegiance is to the impartial application of the law, to the pursuit of truth, and to the upholding of due process for all." The reprimand did not go unnoticed. Baraka, on a hot mic after the hearing's conclusion, reacted, "Jesus, he tore these people a new asshole. Good grief." As he should have, Mayor Baraka, as he should have. Clearly, the DOJ has no intention of actually following any of the logic of these charges, and any judge who doesn't accept his paycheck in Trump coin will be able to see how blatantly illegal these arrests are. And the mayor points out in this interview with Chris Hayes the exact reason why the Trump administration is even trying this.
Well, the Justice Department and Alina Habba wanted me to admit to doing something that I did not do, and I was not going to do that. Once again, I came there to do my job and conduct an oversight visit, and they wanted me to say something differently, and I'm not doing that.
Do you agree with that characterization? I imagine. Do you think it's a good idea that she not plead to something?
Yeah, I don't think she did anything. I mean, and you can't make people confess to something they didn't do. That's what we have court for. I think the video was clear. There's enough witnesses that were there, and I think that she's going to be vindicated. I think it's silly. And in the overall sense, as was stated on this, is a kind of weaponization of the Department of Justice, the U.S. Attorney's Office, to target individuals because they disagree with them. And that's really authoritarian, and we should get away from that as far away as we possibly can.
Yeah, we should get as far away from Trump's authoritarian ass as Melania is trying to. I get the feeling that Habba and Trump's DOJ are not going to heed Judge Espinoza's warning, and their office is going to continue to operate at the well below subpar standards that they clearly are currently operating at. I'm Tony Hinderman with Really American, and I'll catch you next time.